It has been a wonderful and full week. This week we had our son, his wife, and our grandson visiting. It was a phenomenal Father's Day. And we had a wonderful few more days with our daughter-in-law and our grandson. They just left, and Nana's a little bit sad. I knew this day for the book club was coming up, but I didn't want to take away from the time with them. My installment is going to go live a little bit later than everybody else's. Hi, it's Lisa, the Catholic Marathon Mom. This summer I'm participating in a collab started by Heather at A Catholic Mom's Life, and there's several other YouTubers who are adding their reflections to this cool book that we're doing. It's called Handbook for Catholic Moms, and it's written by Lisa Hendy. So this is chapter 6 in the summer book club. Lisa Hendy talks about parenting alone. My takeaway from this chapter is encouraging. It really reminds us all that we are not alone. And she repeats over and over, reach out. Reach out to your parish family, reach out to friends who don't necessarily have to be in the Catholic Church, but people who love you and support you. And to not try to do everything yourself, even though the world says to be a good mom, you have to do everything yourself and to do it perfectly. Pinterest perfectly. And that is extremely and expressly wrong. And we need to know that no one is perfect. We are all imperfect and constantly trying to grow and change. And especially in the role as single parent, it's extraordinary. We've had friends and family walk through this. The depth that they dig so deep to love and care with gentleness and courage is amazing and worth applauding, and I love them so much for giving so much of themselves. In no way do I compare myself to a single parent, but for a couple of years my husband traveled very frequently, and I joined the ranks for a couple of years of the parents who take care of their kids, take care of the home while the other spouse is out of town. The fact that it's not easy, that's okay. Life is not easy. It's not easy when you're tired to then put a very grumpy toddler in the bath, be gentle and sweet and loving and patient, and then cuddle and read the book. And there are nights where you would do all that nighttime routine, get them ready for bed, and tuck them in and close the door and be like, good night. But that doesn't even come close to single parenting, and I'm not at all trying to say at all that they're the same. I did have a couple takeaways from that time in life though, and one of them was that idea of me doing everything and thinking that if I didn't do it just right, I was worth less, doing a terrible job at being a mom to these kids and wife and homemaker, because things would fall to the wayside because I was trying to take care of the kids while my hubby would be out of town. And then imagine that, what that house looks like then when they return home. It looks like a bomb has gone off in the house, and I always assumed that he didn't feel supported in what we were trying to do here. Here I'm staying at home. The home is like a bomb's gone off in it, and things everywhere, crumbs everywhere. He never expressly said that to me. He would always work hard and then sleep poorly because he was out of town, eat poorly, come home just wanting to be home. So I don't know why I put all of these negative expectations against what my husband may have been thinking without even asking him. It was really this heart and mind kind of negative thing going on, and what it did was it kind of grew this like negative thing between myself and him, but nothing that we were aware of. So I definitely believe that that was the evil one at work trying to distance us, and we would always try to, when he got home, try to just spend time together. You don't have to go out on dates, you don't have to do all those things. Those things are great, but spend time together, listening to each other, talking to each other, praying together, and then we would reconnect before he'd have to fly out again and do the job. And you don't even have to be flying out and going out of town. I mean, jobs nowadays, you work for 10 hours a day, like minimum. I mean, I don't know of many jobs that you just walk in and you clock in, clock out exactly at the 8 hours. So we're having pretty long days. And as someone who only ever wanted to be like the mom that I grew up with, a stay-home mom who was awesome, who was funny, who was fun and energetic and kept a beautiful home and loved us unconditionally, I just looked at myself going, I'm totally failing at this, especially when it's, you know, just me and during the day while he's gone. And it's something to just guard yourself against, is that when that spouse gets home, whether you're the dad staying home with the kids or the mom staying home and they've been gone out of town, the worst thing I ever did was, here comes dad, hits the door, and he wants to go in and play, and I jumped in right away, kind of put my arm out and said, well, we're not doing it like that anymore. We're doing bedtime like this now. It was awful. I mean, even as I said it, I knew that I was hurting his feelings and hurting his heart. It was awful. And I remember other things too. Oh, he's not eating that now. Or now what we do is this at bath time. Or now, I mean, so isolating to my husband. I don't know where it was coming from, because I really was like happy he was home from his work trips, and I was happy that we were together again. Relieved that now I was going to sleep better at night because he was back. I had to pray through that for months and months. And finally I realized what I was doing and brought it to him and said, look, I'm sorry, one, and two, I don't want to do that. So I just started sharing more with him. I thought keeping my worries while he was away, or my being tired doing things, or frustrated with myself with different situations, was being helpful by not burdening him. He's our protector, and he wanted to know, and he wanted to be able to interject, maybe you could try this, but I think you're doing a great job. I mean, it was wonderful once we were able to, you know, reconnect and reassess and come at things a little differently. So in the book, she also reminds the reader that we are never alone to being a single parent, and knowing that it is all on you, and that you need to not only provide financially for these children, but emotionally and spiritually, to all the different things where we seem and think and the world says, hey, you're on your own. We're never alone, because Jesus has not abandoned us, that we are loved and incredibly, that the Lord sees us, that he loves us, that he's most compassionate. And if we pray through the rosary especially, we are reminded that he walked every hard road that we could possibly come across in this life. The prayers and the reflections in the rosary are a testament to that, and we can always go to that, and we can always be reminded that he has walked that road. And the other part then that I love that she touches on is to unite our sufferings with Christ. It truly gives meaning to the suffering. It truly gives meaning to that hard time that you're walking through, especially as a single parent, especially in a time when your spouse is traveling or whatever it is, and you feel completely alone in these different parts of your life. It is a suffering, and that to unite it to the cross, to all that Jesus endured, not only does it give meaning, but it allows Christ to bear it with us. I would rather have my sufferings, my worries in his hands than in mine. He can much better handle things than me. Please check out the other YouTubers, links in the description box below. I really hope that you have a blessed day. Any single parents out there, I salute you. God bless you. So grab your kids today. If you happen to be a nana, grab your grandbabies today and give them a big squeeze and kiss. I kissed mine goodbye this morning, so say a little prayer for me. My little heart is hurting. So God bless you, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next installment.